Hello my fellow Elden Ring lovers and welcome to a new video on this channel. You might be familiar with the blasphemous sword. I really wanted to make this weapon so OP with the new DLC talismans, but I also wanted to use some base game talismans. I'm just like you and I'm really hungry for this game, so if you also enjoy informing yourself and making yourself stronger, just follow this path I took. It's basically just where you spawn, and then I went straight ahead to the first side of Grace, and then over the bridge, and from there you can follow where I go next. I did speed up this process a little bit, but it's not that far, so you can actually just follow me in real time. The first talisman I wanted to get is the Talisman of the Dread, which looks like a dragon head or a dragon heart, and it boosts your Magma damage by 14%. Even if it doesn't sound like that much, it's a great difference. And right here you can see this little broken down hut. And there on a little corpse is the talisman. From here on we want to use the spirit spring on the bottom. There is a way to do it normal. It was intended to just break these stones, but there's a really cool glitch I found out, where you can use a shackle. You can use Mog's shackle or Market's shackle, and then it will break automatically. Now you can just use a spirit spring. We actually jumped next to the castle, but you could jump onto the castle and activate the Side of Grace, but there's also a Side of Grace right around here. So now we go through this tunnel and we avoid the dragon because we are too low and I don't want to fight this dragon. There's also a little secret right around here. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the leveling of this DLC, but there is a skeleton fragment right here. I actually died here, I hate these enemies, but let's move on. If you follow this path you can also see a Side of Grace right here. There might also be a person, don't kill him, there's a story about him. You can actually avoid all these plants and these perfumers. And also if you're here, I don't think there is anything special. But there are a lot of birds and I don't want to fight them because I don't like these birds. And right there is a new Side of Grace. We actually went through this swamp and underneath this lake, and now we want to go to these ruins. I don't like this part because there are golems here. I actually tried to go to the right, but I found out that it's easier to go to the left, but you actually need to find out. I also don't like that I can't use my map if I'm attacked by these golems, but right here is a new map fragment. Might be useful. But now we want to go through these ruins. It's actually a little complicated how to get up there. I always did it this way, but I'm not even sure if it's the right way. But you can see I tried to jump on this thing and then just glitch my way up. And now I take the intended way, go over these roofs. I actually summoned here, but I don't think I needed it. But I'm always afraid of this burdening, because they don't stagger. You can't just avoid him and run around, then go to the item, but I tried it. Now this talisman boosts your weapon if you two-hand it by 15%. I actually tried it out with the blasphemous blade and it didn't work. Now for our next talisman, it's a base gate talisman. You can take the hidden path with the Magma Wyrm and then go to the Eldest Plateau. From there you can go where I am right now on the map. Or you can also use the Dectus lift with the Dectus medallion, and then right there is a grace. Go up and take the same path. Now I don't really like this region because it's so dark and there's so much fire around. But the talisman is really OP, so you must get it. Just try to avoid these geysers. They have a really weird hitbox. But right there is a site of grace. And into this castle we want to go. There are a lot of enemies. I would recommend just to avoid them. And also this enemy, you can just go past him. You just need to open the door and he can't follow you. And you can spend some incantations or use a long sword. Or sorceries. Now we go up, and don't be afraid, there's no enemy up here, there's just a ghost. And he's hiding the talisman we needed. Now for the testing, without any buffs we do around 600 damage with Blasphemous Blade level 1. If I use the Fire Scorpion charm, we increase this damage by, I'm not really sure how much, but it's around 12%. The Blasphemous Blade is really special because it doesn't only do fire damage, this damage also counts as magma damage. And that's why we also use the Talisman of the Dread, which also boosts our damage by around 14%. Now it's a really special thing because many people think that the God-free icon increases the damage, but I tried it out many times and I found out even if it's a skill, actually can't charge it up. So the God-free icon does basically nothing. Now for our next talisman I used the Warrior Charge Shard. If you don't have the time to get the Shard of Alexander, the Warrior Charge Shard still increases your damage by like 10%. But if you have the time to get the Shard of Alexander, it actually boosts your damage by 15%. If you don't know how to get to the Warrior's Charge Shard or Shard of Alexander, I will show you right now. I'm not gonna lie, he's one of my favorite NPCs in this game. So I still recommend you to get the Shard of Alexander, because his 5% do a little bit more. But if you are fine with the 10%, you can just follow me. And your first encounter might be right here. But to get the Warrior Charge Shard, you need to defeat him right here. So his second encounter is in the Gale Tunnel, might be missable, and also the third encounter is right around this forest. There you need to oil him up and punch him out of the hole. And his third encounter is right there in this arena. You can miss the other and just go straight to this. And you also can kill him there, so it's no problem. The fifth encounter is right in this lava lake. It might be missable, and I think it's important. The sixth encounter is right there. You can summon him. And the last encounter, you go right around there and jump on top of this. And on this roof, is the 7th and last encounter, where it gets the Shard of Alexander. The last item I want to get is the Flame-shrouding cracked tear. If you are familiar with the Wanderer's physique, I really recommend this item, because in the end it boosts your damage for 20%. To my left is a church. You can go there, but there's also an invasion. But you can just run through it and activate the grace. But even if you die on this fight, there's a Stake of America. This boss is an avatar, so it's really weak to fire damage. And if you have the Blasphemous Blade, it shouldn't be that hard to defeat him. Then you get the Flame-shrouding cracked tear. And now to our last testing. I do over 1000 damage. I use the Flame-shrouding cracked tear, the Shard of Alexander, Fire Scorpion Charm and Talisman of the Dread. This boosts our damage to around 61%. And I just want to say, this weapon is still level 1. I hope you enjoyed this video, so please like and subscribe and stay strong!